Hello and welcome back. In previous episodes we hooked up 1930 Teletype to Linux, and in this episode we take a giant leap forward, and I was going to try to hook up the 1964 ASR33 Teletype to do something that I always wanted to try, see if we can tweet on a Teletype. If you follow the channel, you know that unlike their older industrial cousins, the ASR33s are very fragile and finicky consumer-grade machines, but we got ours to work in no less than 10 episodes. And I expected it to be a lot easier to hook up the ASR33. First of all, it's an ASCII machine, not a Bodo machine. Though mind you, the ASCII standard was published in 1963 and this is in 1964, so we're living on the bleeding edge, and it's only 7-bit ASCII, of course. The interface is also much simpler. It's a 20 milliamp 12 volt loop instead of being a long distance 60 milliamp many hundred volts loop. So there are many available adapters to transform that to RS-232. On mine, I use this little RS-232 converter board that plugs right in. I'll put a link in the doodly-doo. But it was way harder than I thought. It took quite a bit of experimentation, and I still needed some hardware help to make it work. So on the hardware side, you will recognize similar interface that I use for the Model 19. It's the same idea. I come at 9600 bauds over here. I do my little translations and look how many options I had to make it work, and out it comes at 110 bauds. And on the Dolge, I had to do a little bit of an upgrade so I could reach Twitter. So this is a Pentium 2, and so I installed the latest I could that support Pentium 2, which is 2015 Debian Jessie. So the first obstacle I had to conquer is that on this more modern version of Linux, there's much more security. And they really don't like you to use the USB port to connect to a console, because of course it's a security risk. Somebody could come in and plug in something into your computer and do bad things to it if it gets to a console. So after much searching, I found a way to do it. Let me show you what my little script is. So first you have to take ownership of the USB ports. The Arduino comes on TTY ACM0. Then I have to turn it at 9600 bauds with X on X off. And that's the magic line. It's on Debian, it's system control enable serial -get TTY at the interface name, and then you have to start the service. Let's just start the script and do TTY start. Just going to run these lines, and now it will accept it because it came from super user order just for that purpose. I hope you appreciate the faster speed. This is more than twice as fast as the Bodo one, and how nice the administrator is. We welcome all terminals, including real teletypes. Alright, so now if you try something ASCII, I expected it to work right off the bat. So let's say say hello, which is one of this little funny ASCII utilities that still exist. And immediately kind of sort of works, but you see there are problems. First of all, my zeros are O's and my O's are zeros, but that's how this, I don't know why, this is how this thing is. If you look at the zero, it doesn't have the strike on it, and the O has the strike on it, so it's reversed from what you'd expect and what people expect for drawing ASCII. And then my cow has no legs, and basically you start to realize that wait, this is ASCII, but this is ASCII 1963, and this is not ASCII as we know it today. So it's a subset. You can tell that these have not been assigned yet. Those would be where further special characters would be, and where the lowercase would be. You also see that I don't have the pipe character, which is a problem. It's used all the time in ASCII drawing, and this is what my legs are. They are little vertical bars, and they just don't exist on that terminal. You can also see, by the way, how come it's so weirdly arranged. It's arranged so that shift moves the entire block to over here. So this is the regular stuff that you're printing. If you press shift, you go over this, and if you press control, you go over here. So they simplified the coding of shift and control, or the location of shift and control, so it would be easy to decode it mechanically. So it's so nonsensical, right? You would have started with A over here, right? But nope, for mechanical reason it's this way. So that led me to one of the first options here, which is substitute characters, and that one will substitute the O and the 0, and it will also make the vertical bar, the pipe character, available in both directions. So I'll replace it with uppercase I, and I can also send it with Control I. So now we try the same thing. Cow, say hello. Our cow looks much better. Now it's not perfect, so I don't have vertical bars, but I have uppercase I's. Also, I was really surprised the terminal doesn't have underline. So instead of underline, it has this little arrow character. That's a shift N, prints this little thing. So it doesn't exactly look as it should. If I do it over here, you will see cows say hello. So unfortunately, the horizontal straight line, the vertical straight line don't exist in my 1964 teletype. So next step is to try Twitter, and there are a few command line Twitter clients. They are all sorts of not that great. They are mostly hack jobs. They are scripts on top of either Ruby or Python or other, Perl, whatever. But this one is the best I've found. It's called Rainbow Stream. But this one is actually not bad at all. There you go. Right. So then you see, I think it's very nice. The use of color is fantastic. So it's so I'm CuriousMarc on Twitter, although I hardly tweet, and if I do home 10, it will catch my 10 latest messages and show them really nicely. Let's try it on the teletype here, and then you can probably tell this is going to be a problem. Rainbow Okay, we'll stop it here because you probably already see the two major problems. The first one is that it spits out all the escape sequences and all the color codes. The second one is that it doesn't know that this is not 80 columns, this is only 72. Later on in the messages, it just doesn't line wrap, so it just keeps overprinting at this end. So we need a few modifications to make this work. There's nothing in Linux that you can't fix with some kind of weird command, so rainbow tty. So here's my script to fix that. And it's a one-liner. Stand buff dash o large il rainbow stream pipe set dash u pipe fold, etc. So what it does, it takes rainbow stream, pipes it to the stream editor, and this whole thing removes the color codes or the escape sequence. So it substitute slash backslash x1b, that's escape, and this matches color sequences. And then to get it to fit on one line, I use the fold command to tell it to wrap it at 72 and to do it on a blank, but that wouldn't work, nothing would happen. And then when I quit the command, all of a sudden it would print, and what happens is it's stuck in a buffer. So you have to use the standard buff dash or 0L on this command to not buffer the output of rainbow stream. And then on sed you have to use the dash u unbuffered. And basically one day to write that single line of code on poorly documented options and stuff that doesn't work. So the hell with it. I implemented in 10 minutes in hardware, and I have my little Arduino strips out the escape sequences and will wrap on 72 columns. So let's go back online, quit the thing, and here we go, we are in. So you can see it printed CuriousMarc almost correctly with my substitution characters. And if I want to see my last few tweets, I press home and off it goes. But now you're ready to tweet. You just type T, then your message. So let's go back a few days when I tried it for the first time. And I'm about to send my first tweet. So I generally don't tweet, so I don't know if many people will receive this. I first need to figure out what the command is. Oh, it's tweet. It's just T. So I just say T. And then I'll change myself to all caps. Oh, it's over here. That's this guy. So people realize I'm tweeting from the Teletype. Hello there. Tweeting on the Teletype. Okay. I don't know if it went or not. We'll have to see. That should work. I hardly ever tweet. It made it to the platform. So to check if it works, it's a little annoying. There is no way to scroll back on the Teletype, so you just have to look back at all your messages. And I know it's message number 6, so I'm going to conversation 6. this is how the conversation went. It's made it. Here's my message. Hello there. I usually don't tweet much, but this is a special occasion. I am tweeting from the Teletype. Did anyone receive this? And Akeem, thank you Akeem, answered that. CuriousMarc, yes, but you're screaming. Of course, I was using all caps, right? And I saw that later on my computer, so I answered no from the web app. So I know it's not a bug, it's a feature sent from a normal computer. So there you go. Tweeting on the ASR33. Not the most convenient way to do it, but it can be done. I'll say -FZ there. And you have a Vader cow. Alright.